In this tutorial, you'll be learning how to style curly hair. As you can see, she has a little bit of a drier curl type. Also, she has color towards the ends of her hair, which contribute to a more dehydrated curl pattern. So I'm going in with lukewarm water, and just as a reference, all curly girls can wash their hair once to twice per week. It's really based on your lifestyle. So if you're someone who works out more often or you sweat more often, then you will go ahead and wash your hair twice per week. But if you are very normal, you don't usually sweat a lot, then you would just go in once per week to shampoo your hair. If you feel like your hair gets very frizzy midweek, then you can go in midweek and co-wash your hair instead of using the shampoo that I'm going to use here, and refresh the style. Shampoo that we're using today is the Wella Nutri Curl line. Going in right at that scalp and making sure that her scalp is clean. Notice how I'm focusing just at her scalp, and the reason behind that is because the ends of your hair are the oldest parts of your hair, which means that they're also the driest parts of your hair. So you never want to take shampoo and start rubbing it in, because then you're going to create more friction. You're going to end up drying out the ends of your hair, causing breakage, causing just more frizz in general, and it just won't look cohesive overall. As I rinse this out, then the product will travel from the scalp through her mid shaft towards her ends, cleaning the rest of her hair. Now we're going in with the Wella Nutri Curl conditioner. With any conditioner, you want to make sure that you are going in mid shaft to ends. The reason behind that is because you never want to clog your pores on your scalp. You want to keep that nice and clean. That allows for healthy hair growth. That allows for just a good foundation where your hair will not be itchy. You won't have any dandruff, and just overall can make sure that you have less complications with your hair. Now we're going in and we're going to section everything off. You really want to make sure that you section your hair, guys. If you don't section your hair, there's a good chance that you're missing parts of your hair. You're not adding enough product to your hair, and that will cause your hair to not last as long. Now I'm adding more conditioner to each section, starting from the bottom, working my way up. Then subsectioning, and I'm going in with my wet brush. I love this brush. This brush detangles so easily. You can go ahead and find this on Amazon. starting from the bottom, working my way up. What I also love about this brush is that not only does it detangle with ease, but it clumps those curls together very well. And when your curls clump together, it stays more hydrated because they're in small groups that they huddle together and they keep the moisture between themselves. Notice as I'm detangling her hair, I'm adding water to her strands. A lot of times we add a lot more conditioner to our hair, but the truth is you just have to add water. Water is the main source of hydration, and if you're using quality products, then you're using products that don't dilute easily, and so you don't have to worry about rinsing all the product out, because if you're using quality product, it's more concentrated and a lot of it stays inside your hair. A lot of curly girls, including myself, have trouble with volume right at that crown area. So notice how I'm taking the brush and I'm combing underneath and then letting go. The reason behind that is because if you just go ahead and comb regularly, it lays flat against your scalp. And then if you comb underneath, it'll come up and then back. Now I'm just going in, making sure that I am parting her hair. And you always want to make sure that you are parting your hair in the shower very wet so that you can minimize the amount of touching you do on your hair once you step out of the shower. While her hair is still soaking wet, I'm going in with the styling gel, just a few pumps, and making sure that I'm glazing this all over and saturating her curls with it. Remember, the key is to apply product on very wet hair. So if that means that you have to bring all your products inside the shower with you, that's perfectly fine. That's pretty much what I do to make sure that it's an easier transition from conditioning your hair straight to styling your hair. With her hair turned over, I'm going in with more of the Nutri styling gel. The reason behind that is because this client does have a lot of hair, and so you don't want to be cheap with product. You want to make sure that you are using a good amount of gel, or if you like to use a mousse or a cream, you just want to make sure that you're using a good amount of styling product to lock in that hair. Notice how I'm scrunching that in after I glazed right over it. I don't go in section by section because especially with this curl type, that might be a little bit too heavy, and we really want to make sure that her hair is not only defined but also voluminous. Now we're going in with the microfiber towel. The reason why you want to use a microfiber towel versus a cotton towel is because a microfiber towel doesn't cause friction on the curls, allowing it to remove water without frizzing your hair. So the reason why you want to remove water is because water creates weight on your hair. So if you want your hair to be really nice and voluminous, you want to go ahead and remove some of that water. Now, you don't want to take out too much. Rule of thumb is as long as it's not dripping wet, but still very damp, is the perfect amount of scrunching you would do. Now we just put her under the dryer for about 10 minutes. The reason behind that is because we want to take out some of that water and really set her hair so that her hair is not too frizzy before we go in and we diffuse. So medium heat, medium speed, I'm going in with my blow dryer. The attachment is called the Curly Co. I love the Curly Co. It is very inexpensive and powerful. You can go ahead and grab that on Amazon, and I'm going to go in and diffuse the rest of her hair. I have her laying back in a chair rather than flipping forward, only for comfort reasons. However, when you are at home diffusing yourself, you would just flip your head forward and side to side. And then you will see that once her hair is a little bit more dried, I go in and I do flip her head forward. Once I notice that her hair is getting a little bit frizzy, I'll go in and do the hover method, which is exactly this. Hover right over the hair instead of going in and diffusing regularly. If you are someone who has been blessed with a lot of hair, don't be afraid to use your other hand to pick your hair up and put it inside of the diffuser. I love doing that with clients, really just making sure that I'm getting as much volume as possible. Now I'm going in with the InnerSense I Create Finish hairspray. I love this hairspray. It is very lightweight, but it does give a really nice hold and a really nice shine. So making sure that her hair holds and it doesn't have a lot of frizz because we were diffusing. I added that right on top, just a very light layer, going back in, making sure that's nice and dried, and diffusing everything once again. Now with her head flipped over, I'm just going through and making sure that all of the clumps are taken apart. The reason behind this is because clumps usually hold about anywhere from like 3 to 10 curls even, and so when you take them apart, you have a lot more volume, your curls are more separate, and so it really just fills out your hair. But here's the trick: you don't want to go in and start declumping your hair until your hair is either like 95% dry or at least 100% dry. If your curls are still wet and you're going through and taking out those clumps, you're going to end up with a lot of frizz. So notice how I'm allowing her hair to go side to side. The reason behind that is because I want to make sure that she gets a lot of volume, that we're making sure that her hair is not flat to her head, and getting any little wet spots that are left. I love to fluff and shake right from the bottom of the hair, just because when you're going in and you're finishing off your style this way, you do create a little bit of frizz. And so if you start to fluff and shake and rake and bake and do all those techniques with your head flipped over, when you flip back like this, you have minimum frizz at the top of your hair and all the frizz hides underneath your hair. So just a little pro tip there. This is the final look. As you can see, her hair looks absolutely gorgeous, hydrated, shiny, much more bouncy, and honestly just much more alive. It is very, very soft, yet has that hold and that definition from that styling gel along with the hairspray. So if you're interested in any of the products that we mentioned or any of the tools that we use, I'll make sure to link it for you.